If you wanted to make captain, white or black, you went downtown and put $500 in one of those little mail slots in the bus station, and you got the examination. During the 30s, just before I came on the job, when pullover sweaters were popular, they tell me there was one exam. The guys that were in on the know had the exam already, had filled it out at home. They came, pulled down the sweater, put the exam down, took the one off the thing, put it back in the thing, and then tapped on the table to distract the squares that were taking the exam on the legit.
The corruption was so rampant that Mayor Shaw was recalled in 1938 and ousted from office. Back in the stations, black firemen continued looking at their opportunities, or lack thereof, on the fire department.
None of them could promote. So once that spot was occupied, and that's why I didn't understand it at the time, that's why our men were so selfish with their study material. Why form a study group when there's only one spot? The man you help might beat you to it. The rest of the department could form study groups because there are going to be openings all over the city. And all of them could get a job. But with us, one job. And as I say, the two men that came on before me, they got on only because Captain Washington and George Levine were killed in that accident. When they reached the third one, the list was blocked. So he asked them to do what he asked white firemen to do when he needed to find one of us. Waive, voluntary waiver. And the white fireman would be under the hammer. Either you waive or you'll never get a promotion on this job forever. Well, when they got to the third black, now we started talking about integration and the unfairness of not being able to promote. Our men decided we're not going to waive. When he reached the third one, the list was blocked. He called them downtown and he said, tried to get one of them to step aside, that he would show favoritism to them. Now, they stood together. They said, no, Chief, either we'll all waive or none of us will waive. He said, well, I'm not going to appoint you, so you're not gaining anything. Finally, he told him, he said, look, if you'll waive, I promise you this will never happen again. All three of them waved together. But the reason it never happened again, he saw to it that we never got that high list again.
It soon became clear that integration would be the only solution to the inevitable stagnation blacks would face on the job. Emerging as a leader for the black firemen was Arnett Hartsfield. Hartsfield was born in Bellingham, Washington. His family migrated to Los Angeles in 1929. Hartsfield would attend Manual Arts High School and UCLA, where he would get his first experience as a leader in civil rights.
What pulled me in as the leader of the integration fight was my fight to get into the advanced course at ROTC at UCLA. Remember now, UCLA was a land-grant college, so every male student had to take ROTC. But if you were colored, you couldn't become an officer. The reason? There was no segregated ROTC camp on the West Coast. So in my 2-year battle against the university, trying to capitalize on my high school ROTC, where I had been a cadet captain, it kind of focused my attention on equal opportunity and civil rights.
Arnett fought for his country in World War II as part of a segregated unit.
I was with the 93rd Division, as upset over being in a segregated Army division as I was coming to a segregated fire department. With hindsight, I look at it differently. If the Army had been integrated, I'd have died at Normandy. There's no doubt about it. Whatever unit I was in would have been in the first wave, and second lieutenants go first. Thanks to prejudice and segregation, me, my platoon, our company, our battalion, our regiment, our whole division was over in the Pacific, and we weren't even fighting the Japanese. We were unloading ships. I was furious. I'm not a laborer, I'm an officer in the infantry. good Lord said, shut up, darky, I'm taking care of you. Then the war ended, and I had a good job to come home to, a beautiful wife. We had only been married about a year and a half before I went into. I said, what was I complaining about? It taught me a lesson that I have learned in my 84 years. Sometimes the worst thing that can happen to you can turn out to be the best thing that ever happened to you if you don't let it get the best of you.
Arnett was appointed to the LAFD on November 18, 1940. He was pegged the Rookie, a nickname that would follow him to this day.
I was crushed. I had reported to the drill tower in my little ROTC uniform, feeling very patriotic. I had gotten permission the day before. We had a drill at 7 o'clock in the morning. I got permission to go to my drill first. Everyone was cooperative with the military in 1940. I got to the drill tower and they said, you must be Hartsfield. Dumb me, I thought they were talking about my uniform. I saluted, yes sir. I attempted to pass him and he said, no, you go to Central Avenue. I was crushed. Where on Central Avenue? I was a West Sider, 14th and Central, across the street from Coca-Cola. So 61 and a half years ago, I walked through the front door of this very building as a young fireman, bewildered, wondering why they hadn't allowed me in the drill tower. The captain told me what the problem was. They didn't want me to sleep in the same dormitory with the white rookies. They gave the captain a choice. Either I could take the training during the daytime, come sleep with them every night, or else he could train me himself. He told the chief that rather than to insult me every day, he would train me himself.
Hartsfield's opponent would be the chief, John Alderson. Alderson succeeded Ralph J. Scott on March 7, 1940. The highest rank he held prior was battalion chief.
No other chief has had as much influence on this department as Chief Alderson. He has, see, they could see it coming. He was so brilliant that they modified the chief engineer's list to let captains take it because he was a captain. And everyone could see he was going to someday be head of the department. So he was allowed to take the chief engineer's exam really before he should have. And sure enough, he came out on top.